says right there, the Batman spoilers, the video that no one has been waiting for. The three things we're going to touch on are the theme of vengeance throughout the movie, the Penguin, and not my favorite scene, but a really good scene, and I think it really sets up the character of the Batman that we see in the movie, and gives us a really good understanding of who we're watching, what we're watching in regards to Batman and his journey in this movie. So let's talk about vengeance. Okay, I know it's Batman. It's all about vengeance. Is it though? Is it about vengeance, or is it about justice? Because I think the end goal that Batman wants is justice. He wants justice for his parents. He wants justice for the citizens of Gotham. He wants justice for the city itself. But he's just beginning. It's been like 2 years. He's still getting his feet wet. Do bats have feet? So he starts off being vengeful, not justiceful, but vengeful. And he says it. It's in the trailers. He beats up a bunch of bad guys. They're like, who are you? And you're like, yeah, he's going to say, I'm Batman. But he doesn't. He says, I am vengeance. And you see throughout the movie, the way he interacts with everybody, and at the end of the movie, that he sees, I can't be vengeance. I have to show hope. I have to show justice. And it changes throughout the movie because he feels, this is what I got to do. This is who I have to be. But later on, when he fights these bad guys, and the cops or whatever are like, who are you to this bad guy? And he says, I am vengeance. Because the bad guys feel justified in what they're doing. They've been wronged. They've been thrown out by society. So they feel what they're doing is appropriate. They're rotting vengeance onto the city and its citizens and its leaders. So then what separates the Batman and these criminals? Well, he figures that out. It's not vengeance. It's justice. And you can see that because in the whole movie, he's very broody. He's not very personable. He's not the playboy billionaire yet. And he's in the shadows. And he's just wreaking havoc on these bad guys when he fights them. But at the end, the Riddler, his big old plan, right, is he flooded the entire city. And everybody's in Madison Square Garden. And it's flooding. And Batman's already beat up all the bad guys. And all these people are, they're stuck in this impossible situation. Well, you can't bring vengeance to a flood, can you, Batman? No. But what can you bring? Hope. You can be a beacon of something good. And that's what he learns throughout the movie. I can't just hide in the shadows and bring vengeance. I have to show hope. I have to show that the people and the city deserves justice. So there's a scene where he's saving these people and he's got a flare and it's very symbolic. It's dark, water's everywhere, and he's leading these people to safety out from the dark where he's spent his entire 2-year career, and he's leading them out of the dark and into the light where the justice is. Okay? And he becomes that symbol. Still a lot of work to be done, probably. But it was really neat where it's without too much preposition and ham-fisted. That it shows you this progression. Because once again, he's been doing it for 2 years. He's still a little baby bat. He's still got work to do. So that's vengeance. Second, the Penguin. He's not a spoiler. He's in the trailers. Colin Farrell plays him. Now, if you weren't tracking that, he was cast at that. That's not a secret. But if you forgot or you just didn't know, you're probably not going to know he's playing the Penguin in this movie. They did makeup, his voice, everything was great. And what was cool is that just like Batman, like the Penguin isn't the Penguin yet. I mean, he's referred to as the Penguin, but he's not the Penguin, and he's not the crime boss Penguin. He's like second, third in command under Carmine Falcone, who's like the mob boss, right? And they did a really great job. You can see that he's menacing. You can see that he wields power, and he probably wants more. But he plays his role as the second hand, third hand, really, really well. And at the end of the movie, the Carmine Falcone, he's taken care of, and it creates a vacuum, and it's going to get filled. Well, who's it going to get filled by? Who's going to take the pieces that are now up for grabs? And it alludes to the Penguin being that next crime boss, that next big guy, because the Riddler is defeated. I mean, he still flooded the city, and that's going to take a long time to figure out. But he ends up in jail. He's in jail at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. It looks like the Joker's in it. But the Riddler's, in jail, and I'm assuming he's going to remain in prison, when the next movie comes out. So you see the Penguin kind of, it's alluding to him stepping into that role as the crime boss Penguin. It was cool. There was a scene where he gets captured by Batman and Jim Gordon, and they're interrogate him, and he's tied up, and then they leave him. They just leave him, out in the middle of nowhere or whatever. And he's tied his ankles, and he like wobbles, talking to him and stuff like that. Cause he's like, you're just going to leave me here. But he's wobbling like a penguin. And it's just kind of a cool thing that they put in there. So his inclusion and his role in the movie was really, really great. I'm very excited to see an expanded role for the Penguin and see him, in the role as the crime boss instead of just like the second or third hand, guy. The last part I want to touch on, it's not my favorite scene. I don't know what my favorite scene is, but it's a really, really cool scene. And like I said, I think it kind of captures, the essence of this Batman that we're seeing. And it's he's surrounded by cops because of stuff that happened in the movie, and he escapes, and he's like on top of I don't know what it is, but one of the very, very tall buildings, and he busts out this window, and he's like on the ledge, and he sees how high he is. He sees the whole city in front of him, and he stops, and he's like he shows fear. And now normally we see Batman striking fear in others. We don't see Batman recoiling because of something. So I thought it was really cool that once again, has he gone skydiving? Has he, yeah, but not in this, maybe not in, his Batman suit when, hey, it's life or death. He can't stay there. He's got to go. And it's not, he doesn't have his bat wings. It's not like his cape. He actually like deploys like a squirrel suit, like a, Red Bull squirrel suit. It's not red, it's black, obviously, but he deploys a squirrel suit, gets all scared, deploys it, then jumps off, and he ends up like hitting a bridge or a truck, and he crashes, and he like limps off. So it's, he's not, and being all super cool and suave and like, superhero landings and stuff like that. Like, he's getting beat up, and he's, learning as it goes. So not my favorite scene. Like I said, I don't really know what that one would be, but it was just like a really, really cool scene. And I think I'm hoping you've seen the movie by now, because that's something that like it doesn't spoil the whole movie, but it's a moment that if you haven't seen the movie, it would be spoiled. So definitely go see the movie before you watch this video. Yeah, I think it's coming on HBO Max soon. I don't know when, but I think it's soon. But it's still probably in theaters. I would say go see it in theaters. If I can, I'll probably go see it again in theaters. So that's my goal. So that's my like brief. I'm hoping to keep it under 10 minutes. Spoiler review for the Batman. Go see it. It's really cool. I like the direction that they're going with it. I didn't even learn until recently, or it all tied together. But Matt Reeves has done the newer Planet of the Apes movies, which I thought were phenomenal. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really liking Matt Reeves. I'm really liking what he's doing here, and so I'm excited for the future Batman movies, and maybe I'll talk about those ones too. So the Batman, go see it. It's really good, and then when you do, we can discuss kind of your take on vengeance and Colin Farrell's role, and you know what your favorite scene or what a scene you think was very good. So that's it. That's all I got right now, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. It would mean a lot to me if you enjoyed it. That'd be cool.